Hey traders, what's happening? I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know it's been a while since I've been on, but last week was a pretty rough week for me. I'm surprised that I was able to do as well as I did and kind of hold it together in the trading that I did do in the morning. Um, but it's crazy. This morning, today, was a more emotional day for me. It's like I added more on top of it because this was my son's orientation. So I dropped him off at college for orientation. And, going to this huge campus and, knowing that hey, this is going to be your son's home for the next 4 years and that it's only 14 days before he actually moves out is it just all of that so it just makes it difficult when you're already coming in with heavy emotions. It just makes it even more difficult to kind of focus and do what you need to do. But I've got enough experience now where I know when I need to stop, and or sometimes I can say, yeah, I need to do this, but I don't do it. And we're going to talk about that today as well. But and we're also going to talk about, the title of this video is talking about where to take profit. So we're definitely going to focus on that when we get into the trading part of it. But one of the things I want you guys to really understand, and most of us in the beginning, we're dealing with this hope factor, and we don't even know it. It's just inherent in us because we're taught throughout our lives to have hope. And in trading, hope is not something that we need to hold on to. It can actually be detrimental to us. Like in trading, we hope that we're at the point now where we can start making winning trades. Anybody can make a winning trade, and anybody can go on a run and make a couple of winning trades in a row. That's once you learn some things, that's not hard to do. The real test is, can you consistently put money in your account every month? That's where the real test comes. And hope doesn't do that. Hope does not bring you consistency. Hope does not put money in your account every month. All right. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be straight up, and anybody that actually trades for a living will tell you the trading test will never be over. It's never over. There is no end game. There is no ending to this process. Okay, you're gonna have to learn. Like they say in the Marines, you have to improvise, adapt, overcome. But you have to be consistent with how you execute that. You can't be all over the place. You have to be consistent. You have to have your foundation, who you are as a trader, your trading process, and you go from there. And knowing that the test, the market test that you take every day is never going to be over. And we're tested every day. Our patience is tested. Our stamina is tested. Our discipline is tested. Everything is tested in the market every day. And every day we have to be in a position to pass that test. Are we going to fail some? Yeah. It's only natural. We're going to have those days where things just aren't, right. But just know, we can't live off that hope. I hope one day the market's going to come to me and I don't have to go through this anymore. Well, you're going to be tested every day, whether you know what you're doing or not. It doesn't matter. You're going to have those tests. Life happens. You can't block out life. So as long as you're living, you're going to be tested. So let's move on to looking at the SPY here. And we talked about this last week. I felt by the end of the week, we would hit 440. And that's exactly what we did. And we are pushing up some more. Will we hit the top of this channel here, this ascending resistance? It's possible. It is possible. The market's weak now. We had a big sell-off after 8 o'clock or so. We did sell off a point or so. But we'll see what it looks like, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, where the market's going, what kind of steam it has behind it. The Fed meeting ends on Wednesday. There's, chatter that things are going to change. Some things are going to change. They're going to adjust their policy to reflect what's going on right now in the economy. So that could have some people kind of staying close to home. But we'll see how tomorrow goes. Today wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a really bad day in terms of the market. It was choppy. There was a little bit of frustration. But for me, a lot of it was self-inflicted. But, not bad day. The bulls are firmly in charge. They are firmly in charge. So first trade of the day was not from a watch list. And this is not something that I typically do. It's something that I shouldn't have done. But I did it. And it was a good plan. It just didn't reach my profit target. So the question becomes, where do we take profit? And what I do is I always look at the daily chart, and we're going to mark daily levels or daily support and resistance from the moving averages or whatever it may be as potential profit targets, or where I could base trades off of. So here, the low of the previous day, which was Friday, the low of Friday, was 74. So my first target on this was going to be 74. Now, if I had gotten in a little bit earlier, if I'd have gotten in just a little bit earlier, I was fumbling around and had the wrong thing up and was late getting in this. But I still could have gotten a pretty decent hit if I had gone to 74. So here was the opening range low. Could have gotten in right around 75, 25, 75, 20. Didn't get in until just under 75. 74 would have been a good target. So it kind of stalled out a little bit. And so I put in 75.25. I was like, okay, 75.25, that's the start of the range. Let's try to get some profit there. And then we'll work this. And if it doesn't work, base hit, a couple $100, I'm good. This got down to 74.27. And then ripped up on me. And so, all I could do was sit back and say, okay, let's see, if it comes back. Well, I should have been out of it right here. But this is the stubbornness in me waiting for it, and I'm gonna let it hit my stop. I should have been out right here as soon as we broke the high of this candle, because this candle reclaimed the opening range low. The stop should have been here. So what should I have done here? When I saw it stalled out, should I have, and we didn't hit this and it started to rip, should I have just taken it off? Should I have just taken profit? You know, these are the things that I ask myself when I'm doing the reflection. You know, I knew where to take profit. So where I take profit is I look for a level of support. If I'm short, if I'm long, I look for a level of resistance that will allow me to take profit. So it's it's one of those things where you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Okay, so we've got to have a process. And I do have a process, but today I wasn't 100% focused. And me seeing this, and I know I talked about it, I mentioned it several times that we were stalling out. That's a sign for me to take profit. It is. But everything wasn't connected today, and I turned around and messed this up. So this should have been a pretty good, this should have been a pretty good base hit. So I messed up on this. Okay. WLTW, this was the next trade. This stock was actually on my watch list. So we break down below this daily level here. We confirm it. I get short. It turns around, stops me out. Okay, now I'm at my max loss, right? I should be gone. I should be logged out. I should be walking away. That's why I log out my platform. Because when this happens and this baits me in, I should never have been in this. Okay, I never should have been in this. I should have been done for the day, should have been logged out. I was at my $600 max loss. Done. But no, I decided to get in this. And I also decide that, okay, I'm not going to stop out. This is kind of working its way down. It looks kind of weak. And, it tested my patience here. But I knew if it took out the pre-market low, if it reclaimed the pre-market low and the 9 and the VWAP, I'm dead in the water. I'm just dead in the water. So, all of this is a product of me just not being 100%. And, knowing that and knowing that I probably should not have been trading. Because here, I could have easily taken profit here. So, had I taken profit when these trades stalled out on me, I would have had about $400 profit in the bank versus being down $600 at my max loss. That's the fine line of trying to figure out, should I wait until it hits the target, the level that I have picked out, or should I lock in some profit when this chart, the price action is telling me we're stalling out? You probably want to start lightening up here. Who do you listen to? All right, yeah, if you don't have the experience in reading price action, you wait for your targets. But once you get to the point where you learn how to read price action, it's what I'm showing you every day, that we're in a trade. I'm showing you what I'm looking at what to look for to determine, when things stall out. Like in this case, the spread. When the bid was dropping down and the ask was staying up, we're stalled out. We're at an impasse. And then the bid starts to creep back up. It's time to get the hell out. And I remember talking about that and saying, look at that, look at what's happening. That's when I should have taken profit. That's the plan. That's part of my process. But here I broke another one. I held past my stop. And I was like, I'm going to let this thing work. Unfortunately, it, held trend. It didn't break trend on me and ended up pretty much coming all the way back and practically breaking even for the day. If I had taken it all off down here at 204, I would have been positive on the day. But leaving that last 25 shares on, letting it run all the way back up, I was down $30 for the day, which is not bad considering I was a little over $600 in the red because I had 2 max loss stop outs. And 300 is my max loss. I don't even have to look at my P&L to know I'm at max loss. But that was that. That was today. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be back, head back on straight. Wednesday I probably won't have any trades, and but we'll see. We'll see how the week turns out. Get a good night's sleep and get back at this thing. So last week, I'm pretty surprised. Monday finished red, and I just had to stop. That's when I got the news right after the market opened and we started trading. Tuesday, pretty darn good. Wednesday, our first $1,000 day in a long time. Started feeling pretty good about that. And then Thursday, red day. Friday, a little bit of green here. Nothing to write home about, but we ended up 11/20/01. Not bad. This week's going to be a little sporadic too. So, hey, if I could get $1,400 and I end up $4,000 for the month, this will be a big win. Considering I was on vacation the first 7 days of the month, we took 7 out of the 20-some trading days we got. Not bad. I'll take it. Equity curve looking ripe. I don't even need these numbers here to tell me I'm headed in the right direction. Just as long as this equity curve is moving in the right direction, I know I'm doing the right thing. So, got to keep that going. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for me today. Tomorrow we'll talk about the swings. Still in SQ, still in Disney. SQ, we took some profit last week. Disney, I'm still waiting. Should break out tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm looking for that breakout tomorrow. So you guys have a great night, great evening, and I will catch you in the morning.